Do you like games that feel like a big warm hug? Comfy and cozy, but do you also want a well-crafted challenge with neat mechanics? And are you also an extremely nostalgic 30-something who yearns to recapture the innocence of youth? Well, boy oh boy, do I got a game for you, buddy. This here, of course, is Toy Commander, and replaying it has been one of the most nostalgic experiences of my life. But I must admit that saying that does feel a little bit reductive, because the charm and merit of this game extends far beyond the rose-tinted glasses of my 90s ass childhood. It's not just the nostalgia, it's the super sharp control system and the sleek visuals and the superb mission design. Everybody, no matter what their gaming taste, owes it to themselves to check this one out. Why, you might rightly ask? Well, let's take a look now at the premise, the gameplay, the aesthetics, and everything else that makes this little gem so special and makes me want to recommend it so heartily to you. The cel-shaded kid in the pilot hat here is Andrew Guthrie, or Andy. And Andy is about to be involved in this toy-centric story. I know, right? See, this lad used to enjoy playing with his pirate ship and his racing cars and his digger trucks and rocking horse and all of the kinds of cool old school toys, but now he's a little bit older, he's been neglecting them, so they form up to throw a full-scale military coup and take over the house. I'm not joking, by the way, that's actually the story. So now Andy's only choice is to play them at their own game and use toys to fight toys. What a toy-on-toy action, you know what I'm saying? Which essentially means driving and flying and sailing and shooting and tanking and boosting through every room in the house. About 8 in total, I think. Each room has about 6 missions, followed by a boss, and then they all have their own vibe. So there's 50 or so missions for us to get through in total, and they're all fun-filled too. Literally filled with fun. The level design here is exceptional, and the missions are simple, but they're effective. We'll go through a couple in detail now, just so I can give you a feel of what's going on here and why you should check it out. So first up, training. What game do you know that makes a tutorial fun? I can't think of any, apart from this one. And the reason for that is pretty simple. The movement feels just right. All of the controls and the inertia and the weight of the vehicles, it just feels perfectly balanced. Everything's very intuitive. So what we've got to do here is land the plane on the kitchen table, use the helicopter to put 2 sugars in the hot chocolate, and then we've got to drive our little truck to the chocolate bar. That's cute, right? And speaking of things that are cute, it'd be pretty cute if you smashed that there like button and maybe gave me a subscribe too. That'd be cute. Wow, thanks. Back to the mission. So, what a nice little series of tasks this is then to get you used to these controls and familiarise yourself with the location for future missions and provide you with a little timed challenge. Before I move on, just let me circle back to that time trial element for a minute. Timed missions are no fun. Not for me, anyway. Anytime a game does this, it annoys the hell out of me, because it removes my sense of freedom and exploration. And it introduces this artificial sense of stress and pressure. However, to include a time as a bonus element, a target, a challenge to meet, that's just fine. And that's why Toy Commander does it so well, because you have a mission par for, let's say, 4 minutes, but I maybe spend 10 minutes dicking about in the house doing sick tricks in my small plane, and nothing bad's going to happen to me. The mission won't time out. I can still beat the mission. The only constraint is that I will have to beat that target time on 4 missions in each area to progress. But I have infinite time to play around in this sandbox, and then I can just tackle the timed part whenever I feel like it. So this game perfected, in my opinion, vehicular movement, and it perfected the concept of time trials, something that games still get wrong today. Moving on to mission 2, Boiling Rage, and let's boil these eggs. This is the first of many missions to feature something like a physics puzzle, insofar as that the eggs have their own weight and their own momentum, and you need to knock them into the pan without knocking them onto the floor and breaking them. You then need to use the little plane to shoot the hob and turn it on. But in a neat touch, you do actually have to hit the correct hob, as all of them are functional and will ignite their respective gas ring. Honestly, it's little details like that, I think, that really make me admire this game. Physics puzzles are very commonplace in games now and are often a lot more complex than just boil an egg, but you find me another studio who was doing this kind of thing in 1999, apart from maybe FromSoft with Echo Knight, but that's for another video. When the kitchen missions are done and Cyclone is defeated, so he joins your team, we move to the kids' bedrooms with Ringo the Clown as the new boss, and here's one of my favourite missions, painting the town red. It is really difficult for me to verbally capture how comfy and cozy the vibe is without just getting you to go and play the game, which is what I am aiming to do with this video. But for now I will just say that this mission in particular really took me right back to my own childhood. The premise is simple. There are good and peaceful action figures living in this little makeshift town with its cinema, castle, jail, construction site, multi-storey car park, etc. But there are some bad banditos that have moved into town and causing trouble, so it's up to you to chase them out. So you drive this truck around and you shoot the red guys, but you leave the blue guys alone. Easy mission with a generous time limit, but honestly, with the care they put into this little town, I could drive around for 30 plus minutes, taking in all the little details without ever getting bored. I also mentioned that this is a very easy mission, and that does stand in sharp contrast to some of the others, which are much harder. And that's the beauty of this game. It can be relentlessly challenging, but only as much as you'd like. It can also be very peaceful and chill, as much as you'd like. An enormous level of challenge is available, but it's totally optional. Just as tooling around the various little levels and admiring the design is also optional. This is a true sandbox experience, insofar as that each mission really is whatever you want to make of it. You're never required to beat every single one, but you will be rewarded with a secret level coming up later if you do manage that pretty mammoth task. Staying with Ringo, here's a cute mission, Bombs Away. See these little firecrackers? They're going to blow up your friendly townspeople unless you can use the chopper and grab the paper water bombs and douse those fuses. Utterly adorable stuff. Let's take a look at one more, shall we? As we head downstairs to the mezzanine, we meet Vroom Vroom. This big lad has been up to all sorts of shenanigans and his henchmen have set fire to this here city, so we gotta rescue this penguin. Don't worry Pingu, I am on my way. But that treacherous truck has also kidnapped our firemen, so first we've gotta save them, which we do. Now look at these cute little non-animations for walking. They just glide, really gives the impression of a kid pushing them along and playing make-believe, and I find that very endearing. Now we've got to help the water plane find water. Dry the sink, buddy. Okay, now we wait. And the penguin is safe. Hooray! And there's a whole bunch of other crazy capers to get tangled up in here, from a complicated platforming level to deodorize some trainers and save the farm animals, to some spacey themed levels in the very swanky conservatory, to the aforementioned secret level, which is a snail race, pictured here. You will not get bored of this game. I haven't, and it's been 23 years for me now, so that's a lot of replay value. My only regret is that I no longer have the cool demo that came out with the Dreamcast magazine back in the day, because No Cliché went all out with marketing this, offering full-on new missions for free on a demo disc. This would be DLC these days, probably like a tenner or more's worth of DLC because capitalism, but anyway, here we have this summer beach dealie where you have to clean up the rubbish for Barbie and Ken so they can go swimming. And then you have this very popular one where you play as a jetpack wearing Santa Claus collecting and delivering presents. All which turn out to be a Dreamcast with a copy of this very game. Just like I got on Christmas Day in 1999. We have come full circle to my 90s ass childhood. But real talk, if you have a functional Dreamcast or if you use an emulator, then I implore you to check this out. I'm not really a huge advocate for remakes and remasters since a lot of great games are just great how they are and don't need them. This one is great how it is. It doesn't need better graphics or better controls, but it does deserve to be better known. I'd love to see this on Steam as part of the Dreamcast collection that they've got up there, or even just a cute bit of virtual software for the Switch or something. Whatever really, I can play this whenever I want, and I frequently do, but I also want that for you fine folks out there. But for now I will just say, thank you for watching, and please remember, you got a friend.